Okay, so I haven't posted in a while, and I decided I'm going to post a video. It's going to be a quick one. I have a lot to do. April was a horrible month, but I'm gonna do a quick little video. While I was at the store the other day, I was craving Mongolian beef, and I realized I didn't have green onions. And Mongolian beef, you have to have green onions, or at least I have to have green onions. So I had to go to the store. While I was at the store, I was going down the aisle, and I found Vlasic extreme heat pickle chips. I did look at reviews because I know, excuse me, oh, I hate these damn hiccups. I get hiccups. Anyways, oh, okay. So it says it's supposed to be very hot. With being a chili head and being able to eat like the hot peppers and stuff, like grapes, I'm pretty sure this is going to be disappointing right off the bat. But I was trying to think of some kind of, because right now I don't have access to the hot peppers. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do a quick video of this, and then I'll talk about my crappy month of April. And of course it's condensation, so let's see if I can get this open. Probably not. There we go. Okay, so smell test. It actually smells sweet. I do like pickle juice. Okay, so it's supposed to be hot. It doesn't smell hot at all. It actually smells really sweet. And I don't know. So I like pickles. Okay, so this is sweeter. I think they could have gone hotter with these. It's got a nice flavor. But I don't like sweet pickles. Sweet pickles, I will not do sweet pickles, sweet relish. Those are gross. Okay, I'm not eating any more of those. It's too sweet for me. There was another one that was claimed to be sweet heat. I can't imagine what that one would taste like. Anyways, so April, lots of things. It was just one thing after another. First, my coolant hose on my car popped off. So then I get that fixed, and then my car, or the Durango, decides that it's gonna make this horrid squeaky belt sound. Track down the sound. It was the AC compressor. So I ended up bypassing the AC compressor by buying a smaller belt. Put that on there, and I went to go drive it, and it started making a click, 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 click sound, and it sounded like the freaking tire was gonna fall off. So then I'm like, okay, I parked it, and I drive my car. Well, my car decided that it was gonna, I don't know, the brake line or whatever. Some moron decided that they're gonna cut out in front of me. I was taking a left, and their light was red, and they were kind of like a car in front of me. You know, my light turned green, and I was starting to take a left. And they decided that since my light turned green, they're going to head over into my lane. Well, I had to step on the brake, but it went all the way down to the floor. And because it went all the way down to the floor and I couldn't stop, I had to swerve into oncoming traffic. Wasn't pleasant at all. I'm just glad I have reflexes. That's from being a mom. Yeah, mom reflexes. So anyways, so then I was like, okay, so then I had issues with the brake, and it was just leaking. At first I didn't know that it was leaking because it's been raining and it's been wet, so I didn't get a chance to see it. But then when it finally cleared up, I saw this massive puddle in the rear. So I was like, okay. So then I had to get rides from people from work because I couldn't drive my vehicle and it was pouring down rain and I wasn't gonna walk 2 miles in the rain. That just reminds me of it. Yeah. Walk 2 miles in the snow with no shoes, with a 4-pound bag with books and yeah, anyways. So I ended up, finally, I got the part, I changed it out. It was still leaking, but then it was like I didn't have the right, the tool, because I needed, you want to make sure that you have the correct wrench. Otherwise, it will round off that bolt. And you round off that bolt, you're gonna have more problems. So anyways, I had to wait to get the wrench that I needed, the flare nut wrench. So I tightened it up, so now my car, the brake line is fixed. It's fine, blood and everything. So then I, started driving that, but then the coolant hose popped off once again. So I'm like, okay, this sucks. So then my car, or the Durango, I'm like, okay, so I noticed that it was kind of binding up a little bit, and I took up the wheel and I could tell that the caliper was, I couldn't even, it was like the brake pads were completely welded onto the caliper. So I'm like, okay, so it's probably that. Excuse me. And so I ended up, it also had I have a brake, the ABS system failure. It's weird. It's my car, so it decides to do things at the worst time ever. But you'd hit a bump and the ABS light would come on, and so when I read the code with my OBD2 reader, it said that I had the left sensor failure. So I was like, okay, well, I'll replace the hub assembly since it's all one unit. So I replaced that. And then because by the sound of it, it sounded like it was the CV axle. So I'm like, okay, so I'll replace the CV axle. I replaced the CV axle. I replaced the hub assembly. Put it all together. It was still making a noise, but it was also binding. It was almost like you're trying to open a door with a doorstop. So then I was like, okay, well, this isn't it. So finally I gave up and I ended up towing it. No, I didn't tow it just yet. That's right. So I thought, okay, it's binding, and I did have to whack the crap out of it to get the brake pads off the calipers. So I'm like, okay, so maybe I damaged something with the caliper, and I couldn't get it to retract. So I'm like, okay, well, I will replace the calipers. So I replaced the calipers, I replaced the rotors, and you always want to do it in pairs on both sides. So I replaced both calipers, both rotors, and the brake pads. It was still making that clicking sound. It wasn't binding up as much as it was before I changed the calipers, but it was still making that gross clicky noise. And then I'm like, okay, so I threw my hands up, running out of, patience. And so I ended up towing it to my sister's shop. And she, let me know that it was the drive shaft, which I had already replaced it in the past. But because AutoZone only does the limited 1-year warranty, and it was a year and a half, and I barely put 3,000 miles on that drive shaft, they won't warranty it. So I ended up having to have it replaced again. But for some reason, when I use the 4-wheel drive, it seems to crap out, because 2 years ago was when we had that, and I used 4-wheel drive, and it crapped out on me. So hopefully for a bit I will be able to have a vehicle that's drivable until I can fix my car. My car is my love. I love my car. But I do hopefully plan, I shouldn't say it out loud because every time I talk about selling a vehicle, stuff happens. So I have been like trying to get it to where it's, well, I mean, it's sellable. I mean, it's just, I don't like the idea of selling a vehicle when there's little like issues. even if it's something that the person can fix. But then again, it's also, I'm glad I didn't sell it yet because my car. So now I have to figure out what is wrong with my car, which I still think is the head gasket. But it doesn't have this, it doesn't have the normal signs of a blown head gasket, like the milky oil and the, you know, the overheating. Mine doesn't have any of that. It just has, it has, you know, you can see where the head gasket is with the valve cover and where it is on the engine. So, but I know that it gets pretty crappy, but I kind of keep my engine bay clean. I don't like working on a dirty car. Not only will debris and stuff fall in, or, you know, I get dirty. But anyways, I am going to say goodnight. I was only going to make a quick video and I ended up rambling on like I always do. If anybody likes sweet pickles with a touch of heat, then the Vlasic Extreme Heat pickle chips are for you. I don't like it. It's just, I don't like sweet pickles. I like the tart, sour vinegar with my pickles. Oh, I did try the other day, the kettle chips. They have a habanero lime kettle chips. That was actually pretty good. The flavor of that is it's like side by side with the salt and vinegar. I love salt and vinegar. It's almost like salt and vinegar with a cake. It's not the greatest, like hot wise. It's not like, oh my God, scorch your mouth hot. But as far as heat for a chip, it's actually pretty good. So I'm still alive. I will look into more challenges. It's been crazy. It's May 3rd, so hopefully from this time on, I'll be able to do more videos. Excuse me. I get chronic hiccups, and it's frustrating. But anyways, anybody who knows me by my hiccups. I get chronic hiccups every day, all day. And I've tried every remedy. So you know, people are like, oh, drink some water. Or, have you tried this? Have you tried drinking upside down? Have you tried drinking water through your nose? I've tried it all, except for the water through my nose. But I've tried it all. It doesn't help. I've been through 5 specialists. Nobody knows. I'm just a freak of nature. I've accepted it. I'm okay with it. So, doesn't bother me anymore. Anyways, so everybody have a good evening. Thank you for continuing to watch. I know I've been MIA. I do have 318 subscribers. I have lost a few on the way, probably because I'm not making content or recording, or they just saw other videos and I just like ramble on whatnot. But anyways, everybody, thank you again for sticking through my 13 minutes of rambling. So stay tuned for more content, hopefully more spicier content, and have a good evening.